Hey guys, what's going on? This is Laura Peep here. Oh no, he's not wearing his shades. And the reason why is because I'm going to tell a story. Yeah, story time. But before I do the story, I want to inform you on something. A while back, like last week, I was talking to my sister in law, and I told her about how one of my new friends, or not new friend, she's an old friend of mine, one of my old friends, Ashley Stevenson. Want to find about her, go to our Facebook page, show her love and support. And also, if you also want to find more about her, go to our Instagram and go to our upcoming YouTube channel. That will be, she'll be having soon. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And that's what it's about. It's about her that she'll be putting up good content on YouTube now, which is something that I should be doing instead of showing this background over and over and over again while doing different things. But you know, I could create like a really cool background with some filters in it, like how all these other great YouTubers do. I mean, I remember when Jordan did the song called "When You Believe" from Prince of Egypt. She had the content of the movie of Egypt of Prince of Egypt from while doing the cover of "When You Believe" by Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey. Beautiful song. Also, awesome, awesome at her singing. So yeah, and also the content of how Lost Narrator does her bloopers with her wife Magpie Pony and some other bloopers with some other people that she gets to do voices of so many of the My Little Pony characters while she tells a creepypasta or a funny story or a romance story or drama or mystery. You know, like most of them are based around MLP. But there are some times where she doesn't have to tell MLP. She tells other stories that are not based on MLP, and she also creates other content, which I have to say I really admire stuff like that, and that's called making content. So so, but my bottom line is, I I would love to make like really good content like those YouTubers, which I absolutely show respect for. And yeah, I mean, not just Magpie Pony, Lost Rain, Aaron, and Jordan. I also show respect for PewDiePie, Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, uh, Moon Princess, Peter Hollins, Brian Hall. Um, yeah, I can't think of anyone else right now. Venom Ellen. Sorry, Venom Ellen. Yeah. As I've made so many shout outs before to them, now I'm gonna tell a story. Creepypasta of My Little Pony. I bet you didn't think I would mention a My Little Pony creepypasta while I mentioned Magpie Pony and Lost Narrator, did you? Anyways, here we go. My Little Pony Season 3 Lost episode. First, I'm going to say that I'm a brownie, and I've been for some time now. First, I got into pony fandom by hearing about the infamous Cupcakes and Luna game, or some YouTube videos about creepypastas and watching some reviews of the show Anyway, this happened a couple months ago. I tried to download season 3 out of the show since I live in the UK, so I could not buy any pony DVDs anywhere. I was I was going on a holiday to a place that would not have any internet connection, and I knew I was going to be bored while I was there since the holiday was more for my younger siblings than me. I managed to find full. I managed to find the full of season 3 on the Pirate Bay. The download did not take that long, but I was not surprised as the torrent wasn't that big. I checked I checked the file to see if the episodes were working. Upon checking, I saw a file called MLP Season 3 Episode 14. At first I was confused. There was only 13 episodes in Season 3. I thought to myself, the person that uploaded this must been trying to make some kind of joke. I said to myself. Then I deleted the file and proceeded to check the rest of the episodes, and they worked perfectly fine. Then I went downstairs because my mother was calling me for dinner. After dinner, I came back upstairs to go back to my laptop to watch some YouTube videos. Then, when I looked at the screen, I saw that the MLP Season 3 folder was still open. I must have left it open, I thought. As I went to close the folder, I saw that MLP Season 3 Episode 14 folder was back, and I sighed. Must have been my sister messing about with my laptop. I thought that I just deleted the file again and emptied my recycle bin and started watching some YouTube videos. After a few hours of watching videos about Call of Duty Zombies and other things, I decided to check Equestria Daily. It's a popular pony fan site and seen a post about going on about a rumored missing episode MLP Season 3. Holy crap, I just had that episode. And I deleted it. I thought inside. I decided to close down my laptop as my mom was calling me for my tea. After my tea, I went to my room to get some sleep, but I could not. All I could think about was that damn episode. So I decided to watch some episodes of Season 3 to relax myself so I could fall asleep. Soon after I finished watching 2 or 3 episodes of MLP, I was very tired as it was nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. So I closed the folder where I kept my videos. As I closed my folder, I noticed a folder on my laptop called MLP Season 3 Episode 14. Yes, I said. I had to watch it. I opened the folder, and there was the text file called Life is a Party. Obviously a reference to cupcakes and a video clip called MLP Season 3 Episode 14 Test. I decided to check the text file first. It was nothing special, just a cupcake song lyrics and Pinkie Pie sings. After that, I watched the video. It was all in that fan-made video of cupcakes. I recognize it anywhere. That repeats for 30 minutes with the sad violin music repeating over and over again. I would have closed the VLC media, but the video had the same art style as the show. At about 25 minutes, and Pinkie Pie would stop cutting off Rainbow's wings and looked what seemed to be the camera, or rather myself, with a demonic smile and pitch black eyes, and said in somewhat calm voice, "Life is a party." The video then shut itself, and I noticed the text file was renamed to Read Me Now. I thought about it for a bit and said, "Nope, I'm not opening that." Then suddenly my laptop changed to my desktop, and there was a picture of that face Pinkie Pie made with the text, "Read Me Now." I tried to shut down my laptop, but it would not shut down. So I opened the text file, and I had changed from cupcake lyrics to try and saying "loading game 10%" then 20%, then 90%. After it had finished loading, I guess it came up with the altered version of Luna games. But instead of confronting Luna, I was playing as Pinkie Pie. But instead of controlling Luna, I was playing as Pinkie Pie, but she was crying very loudly. I plugged in some headphones to stop the laptop from waking my mom up, as it was now about 3 o'clock, and I listened through my headphones so I could hear some faint music, which got louder and louder until it took over. Until it took over the crying, and I could hear what song was. So what song? I could hear what song it was. It was a song called Winter Wrap Up. Winter Wrap Up, Winter Wrap Up. Yeah. Anyways, the song just sound fine, except Rainbow Dash's voice was absent as I made Pinkie walk for about 10 minutes and stopped and looked at me and said, "I miss Dashy." after about 10 seconds after she said that, the game let me walk again. I could eventually come across Sugar Cube Corner. Pinkie stopped again to turn to me and said, "Stay there. I have a surprise for you." She then proceeded to enter the colorful building. Pinkie was in the building for about 5 minutes, and when she came out, she was holding a lifeless corpse of Applejack. My heart sank and my eyes started to fill with tears. I could only watch as I saw Pinkie Pie rip and slash away at my favorite pony's flesh. All I could hear over the ripping and tearing of skin was the demonic laugh that grew louder until Pinkie Pie looked directly at me again. The game then faded to an image of corpse of Applejack, which then shut off and changed my desktop, which was back to normal. What sick bastard made this game? And who created that video and text file? Next day, I looked at my internet history to find out who uploaded the Pirate Bay, but I could not find them until this day. The rest of season 3 works fine, and I deleted that missing video file and never seen it again. But sometimes I swear I could see Pinkie Pie's sick, twisted face in the corner of my eye, mocking me with Applejack and Rainbow's head waving at them, like pom-poms. The end. Huh. That was certainly odd. Well, let's see, they have another creepypasta for MLP. Because I plan on reading 2 of them today. Actually, instead of reading a creepypasta of MLP, why not read a sad story? Now, please keep in mind, if this bores you, I don't mean to bore you. You probably heard the Lost Narrator do this story before, and it's going to be quite obnoxious to mention her if she ever sees this video, that I've mentioned her so many times in my other videos. But I'm not obsessed with her or anything. I just think she's an awesome YouTuber. But you've heard her read it before. You've heard other people read it before. Now it's my turn. It's called, if I can find it, Oh, they don't have it anymore in here? I was basically looking for the one called My Little Pony to Be a Mother, but doesn't look like they have it here. They got Mother's Day. They got the mothers of every single character. Oh, never mind. I found it. Oh, I didn't know. It says audio reading by the lost narrator. What a what a what a coincidence. If you don't believe me. Boom, baby. Anyways. Disgraced and betrothed. I need some water. Need a better voice than that. Here we go. Disgraced and betrothed, unwanted by her own parents. These are just a few things that describe the former queen of the changelings. For Chrysalis, the only thing she can properly Oops. A small cavern was quiet, save for defeating sounding of water dripping from the ceiling, and the sole occupant laid in her spot. Malnourished and starved from both common food and love, she laid there, disheartened that she had been banished from her colony for failing her raid on the capital of Equestria by her own parents, no less. They wanted nothing to do with the failure of her daughter, and even the changelings most loyal to her had cast her out. A new queen had been named, but as far as Chrysalis knew, they had lived for Equestria to find easier prey. If you've seen the season 2 finale of My Little Pony. As for Chrysalis, she was cut off. Telekinesis from the hive, and knew that she would never see anything of them ever again. Forced to live alone, Chrysalis had no choice but to try and live on. Her days are an end. She would venture out of her new home, looking for any wandering pony to cast her love, to feed love from, and to live for a bit longer. Some days she found vessels of love, but they were never enough to satisfy her needs or her stomach. Frowning at the lack of love she had been taking, Crystal's mind drifted over back to a time where she had taken over the former Princess Cadence and harvested to love her groom to be. Again, season 2 finale. Snarling at the memory, Chrysalis refused to say his name, upset that a part of him was still with her. Looking down at her stomach, she noticed how wide and plump she had gotten, knowing that the child would be born very soon. Whilst her changeling anatomy destined to lay her eggs, if she were to become pregnant in the form of another other than her natural self, her body would adjust accordingly. She knew how ponies gave birth, and dreaded knowing that she would be in a world of pain once the day had come. Just under 11 months since that day, Chrysalis spoke weakly as she hungered for anything to eat. I loathe waiting for this child. I just want to get it over with. She later... Sorry about my cringiness for the voice. I try. But, it's the only thing I could do to make you happy. If you want me to do the voices, I can. If you don't want me to do the voices, I won't. But just, Let me know in the comments below, and I'll do it the best I can. She lay her head on the floor, knowing very well their depravity she suffered thanks to the pregnancy. She could venture out for love, knowing that even if she transformed, her pregnancy would still show. A few times she tried, but seducing ponies and other races while she was pregnant never worked. Though she did have the ability to control the mind, it drained her too much to maintain long enough grasps. It only happened once. As she was feeding the stallion had broken off, his trying to push her off. He didn't have to kick me so violently, she whimpered, in memory of harsh beatings her body had taken from that day. I need to live like any other creature. It's not my fault I was born a damnable changeling with a carrying an unwanted child. Though she cared little for it, she was still a mother by nature, and most of her changelings were converted from ponies and other races as she left the desire to call them all her children. I hope my child is a healthy one. Being alone for so long hurts. Chrysalis spoke quietly as she rubbed her stomach. Even if it's his child, I still love it enough. At the mention of love, her stomach grumbled. Love. I hunger for it so much. I would even settle for a locket of a couple right now. Desperate for feeding, she tried to pull her weak body off the cold stone flooring. She didn't get far, and quickly fell back down. Too weak for her own good to do anything. She sighed, deeply groaned with pain, as she felt the child shift in her womb. Would it hurt if this accursed child would just come out already? She asked, weakly as she grew thirsty. Looking around her area, she quickly noticed a buildup of sparkling water on the floor. Knowing, she quickly started to lap it up. Hopefully I can redeem myself with a second chance once it's born. It would be nice to call something my child once again. Please. Once her palate had enough water, she turned her head up and sighed, wondering how long she would continue to wait. He wasn't sure how much time had passed. Countless minutes of staring at the stone ceiling eventually yielded to what she desired, as a jolt of pain hit her womb, telling her it was finally time. Looks like you finally are able to write. She wasted pain before a loud, painful scream left her throat as her backside started to shift. Gods, I hope this is over quickly. Time ticked by at a slow pace as the changeling pushed as hard as she could, but she was aware of how long she'd been in labor. And when she had pushed, all she could do was curse his name and hate him, and much more. Every part of her body screamed in agony as the child pressed closer and closer to coming out, telling her a quick break and regain a bit of energy back. Part of her wanted to cut her own throat just to be rid of the pain, but the motherly nature of her wanted her child to be born just so she could hold it in her hooves. This is all your fault. Everything that's happened to me is because of you and that pink menace. Damn you, Shania! Chrysalis cried and panted for a release and one final push. She felt the child leave her body. As it exited her womb, she stared up at the ceiling, wide-eyed, almost in a state of shock, before she felt her body respond once again. Oh, thank the gods, she said in a single breath, as she slumped over the floor, panting. She lay there, breathing quietly and staring at the ceiling above, proud that she was able to give birth to a phone. Nearly a year of carrying all that extra weight, and finally she was free of its burden. Though her body felt numb and her backside was drenched in sticky fluid, Chrysalis turned her head weakly as she stared at the small black changeling that rested on the floor. Why are you not crying? She spoke quietly as she stared at the still mass resting on the floor. From what she learned from books and general knowledge, she was under the impression that a child would whine for its mother to grab them and clean them up. On rare occasions, the child would come out of sleep, only to wake seconds later. She stared quietly, waiting patiently for the child to move, or even let off a whine of need. Finally, as she felt life return to her body, Chrysalis pulled her body up to turn to face her child. Sweetheart, she spoke quietly, as she bent down and pressed her muzzle against the wet body. Chrysalis didn't move. The body didn't move, and Chrysalis grew more worried by the second. As much as she cursed its existence, she didn't want to be alone anymore. She wanted a child to nurture, a child to say that she would love and would feed love to daily. She wanted to raise a child and try to begin her life anew. She wouldn't get that chance. For minutes, she stared at the soulless husk, hoping it would pop to life and cry for its mother. For minutes, she debated not touching it, fearing that the wrong touch would harm it in some way. Finally, she brought herself to pick it up and started to cuddle it in her hooves. No, this can't be happening, she whimpered, staring at the peaceful expression of her child. It's not fair. This isn't fair. I don't want to be alone anymore. No, 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 no. Please wake up for me. You have to. She rocked her child endlessly, as she couldn't help but cry. The pain of extra weight, all that hatred she bore for the stallion, who done this to her, all amounted to nothing in the end. Hugging her child to her body, her cries echoed loudly in the cavern, as she lost the only thing worth living for. And that was to be a mother. Now, if any of you have heard the way the lost narrator read the story, then you probably know how she sounded. To be honest, she sounded better than I did. And I know this will cost copyright, but here you go.
The small cavern was quiet, save for the deafening sound of water dripping from the ceiling and its sole occupant laying in her spot, malnourished and starving from both common food and love. She laid there, disheartened that she had been banished from her colony for failing her raid on the capital of Equestria, by her own parents nonetheless. They wanted nothing to do with their failure of a daughter, and even the changelings most loyal to her had casted her out.
So much enthusiasm to have a sad story, happy story, horror story, mystery story, and any other story that she could possibly read, whether MLP or not. But nonetheless, try not to act like her, but still show respect for her and her wife. And that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope you like my update on trying to create new content. I hope that day comes. And I hope you like my 2 creepypastas, and I hope you like that small little example. So with that, I will see you next time. So don't forget to like, leave comments, subscribe, turn on notifications, and light it up blue. Bye-bye.